Hi Sagittarius, happy early birthday to those of you celebrating November, and welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your November 2022 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic World spread as always, and I also pulled the 4 agreements, Wisdom and the Oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. So let's see what we get. Alright, we have the moon. So as far as important lunar cycles, at the time of recording this, we haven't had that new moon eclipse in Scorpio yet. So that's going to be toward the end of October. Then we're going to have a full moon eclipse in Taurus. And that's going to be around the 8th of the month. And then we'll actually have a new moon in your sign toward the end of November. So just keep an eye out for those times for significant events there. We also have Taurus, so yeah, I was just saying we're going to have that full moon eclipse in Taurus around the 8th of the month, 9th of the month, depending on where you are, so could definitely be some significance there. And for you guys, that's your 6th house of health, work, daily routines, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And we have 9, so 9th house energy for you guys is actually Leo. Astrologically speaking, there's not really anything going on there, but of course you guys are the natural rulers of the 9th house, and 9th house in general points to foreign affairs, higher learning, philosophy, so we'll keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 6 of Swords, and challenging that we have the 4 of Cups. So some Aquarius energy here, and this could just be saying that for some of you, you might actually just be taking a bit of a short trip somewhere to clear your minds. The challenge could be, maybe you just haven't been happy with what's in your environment, right? So maybe you just need a nice change of scenery, a change of pace, something out of your ordinary routine to switch things up for you a bit. But yeah, that's what I see there. And in the foundation position, we have the 2 of Pentacles, so Capricorn energy here, and maybe for some of you could have some money concerns, so that might even be part of why you haven't been too happy in your environment, right? So and with the Aquarius energy being 3rd house for you, that could point to a shorter trip. So right, maybe you wanted to plan a bigger, grander trip, but you might have decided, okay, well, you know what, money might not be the best right now, so I'll just take a short trip just to at least, like I said, just get that change of pace and possibly even think about what your next steps could be around your finances. Alright, past energy, we have the King of Cups reverse. So this is a Scorpio energy here, and it could just be saying that for a lot of you might have been stuck in your heads for a long time too, right? Like I said, maybe just not necessarily happy with what was available to you in your environment, right? Maybe just spending a little bit of time isolating. So to see this in reverse, I feel like it's saying that some of you already have moved out of that energy. In the present, we have the Death card. So again, more Scorpio energy here, right? And again, another indicator that to me says that you guys are letting something go, right? That maybe you've just been holding on to for a long time. For some of you, I have to say maybe it's even just been a low energy cycle, right? Possibly even to the point of possibly even a depression or slight depression. And that could be why you've needed that change of scenery too, right? So of course, you guys, one of your traits that Sagittarius is famous for is the loving to travel and experience different cultures, right? And if finances haven't been that great and you haven't been able to do that, maybe that's just been bringing you down a little bit and taking it out of your routine. So just be saying that you're moving out of that energy as well. All right, and in your future position, we have the Knight of Wands. So this is actually the court card for Sagittarius, and we see a much different energy here versus the Death card, right? So I feel like this is saying that soon you will be feeling back to yourselves. You might even get an opportunity to travel a little bit more in the near future. But yeah, to me that's saying that it could just be one of those things. The term that comes to mind for me is back to life, right? So maybe you've just been going through a bit of a low energy cycle for a while. Maybe you feel like things weren't all that great economically either, but looks like conditions will be improving for you guys. Which, I mean, even just astrologically, that makes sense too as we move toward Sagittarius season toward the end of the month. And then you're going to have the sun, the new moon that I talked about, Venus, Mercury. So there's going to be plenty of energy moving into your sign as we get later into November. So it could just be as simple as that. All right, in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the High Priestess. So yeah, given what we see here, I feel like this is mostly an energy that you've already been in and not necessarily where you're going to continue to remain for a while. But to me, this says that you've really been kind of withdrawn into yourselves, right? Just thinking through things more intuitively, right? Maybe not communicating with others as much as you normally would, but that's what I see with that. All right, in the environment position, we have the Knight of Cups. So this is a Pisces energy year. So for some of you, this could just be saying that maybe someone's going to come your way, right? So they might give you an offer, maybe just to go out, right? Could just be a casual thing. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantically related, but maybe they kind of seen that you've been in a low cycle. And they might say, hey, you want to come hang out, do X, Y, Z, right? Something like that. It's not that. This could even just be saying that you guys might be trying to reconnect with family this month, right? I mean, as we get through November, December, a lot of holidays come up no matter where you are in the world. So it could just be one of those things, too, where you might decide to go see family, especially if you've just been a bit withdrawn for a while. Okay, and in Hopes or Fears position, we have the Queen of Swords. So this is an energy representing balance. It's technically a Libra energy. So for you, it could just be saying that again, especially given that Libra energy for you guys is ninth house, and we also saw that come up with the dice as well. It could just be as simple as saying that you guys are hoping to be able to get out and explore more, right? Do some more traveling that maybe you haven't done in a while. So that's what I kind of see with that. But for others, you could just be saying that you might want to be reconnecting with your friends a bit as well. Maybe you feel like you hadn't seen them in a while. So that's primarily what I'm getting with that. And let me see what else comes to mind with this. Yeah, that's well. Actually, yeah, I don't know why I said this was ninth house energy for you guys. It's actually 11th house, but the friendship thing as well for sure. Like I was saying, but yeah, I feel like this is also relating to travel in some way, where you're just wanting to just get out, explore more, right? Maybe with friends. Maybe you feel like you've been isolated from your friends for a while too. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Four of Swords. So more Libra energy here. And to me, of course, this represents a cycle of healing, right? So if you guys have felt, for example, like you were in that Three of Swords energy, which we know that in most decks, it's usually a heart with the swords going through it. Here we see someone in an energy of relaxation, right? Just getting some rest. So it could just be as simple as, like I said, yes, I mentioned that toward the end of November, you're going to have a lot of those planets in your sign, but right now, as we move through the early parts of November, they're all going to be in your 12th house. So 12th house energies could definitely be low energy cycles. So for some of you, it could just be one of those things where might be feeling a little bit of low energy, just feeling a little bit stuck in your head. But as we progress through the month, like I said, as we get all those planets moving into your sign, that could be when you could start to feel primarily reinvigorated. But if this is just a matter of you guys just having to put some things behind you too, that's going to be a good indicator there that this is going to happen for you this month, which is obviously a positive. All right, and bottom of the deck we have the Page of Cups. So for some of you, maybe this is even you might have come forward with something in the past, right? Maybe even an emotional offer. Maybe it didn't go the way that you'd hoped. So that could be part of what puts you in that low energy cycle, right? So it doesn't. We tend to think romance with the cup energy a lot, but it could have been maybe a creative idea you might have had, right? An offer to, let's say, like I said, if you were tired of the same old routine that you were doing in your environment, maybe you presented an option to your friends, right? Like, hey, why don't we try this, right? And you might have felt like the idea got shot down, and it might have been disappointing to you. But yeah, that's what I see with that. And for some of you, this could just be saying that this could just represent the energy of you putting yourselves back out there, right? So if you've been isolated for a while, it's just be getting reacquainted with being more sociable, getting yourselves out there, right? So it could feel like an adjustment period for you for a bit. All right. Moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have be impeccable with your word, and it says speak with integrity. So let's see what it says. Okay, it says say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. So yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily seeing that you guys are in that energy, but that could be what you're seeking as well, right? Because I was talking about with friendships, maybe you're just hoping for bit more balance within your friendship. So maybe you felt like that was the kind of people that you'd been interacting with, right? Where maybe you felt like you guys get together and then they want to gossip or something like that, and that's not something that you want to partake in, right? So it could be one of those things. And maybe even you found yourself getting dragged into that dynamic a couple of times and you might have felt bad afterwards, like, oh, that's not really my thing. But I don't know. That could be the case for some of you at least. Moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have Observer. There's the artwork, and the number is 49. Interesting, too, that we see them looking up at the moon, and the moon also came up in your dice. So, yeah, like I said, definitely, obviously, the new moon in your sign is going to be significant because it's in your sign, but the other two lunar cycles we talked about, the Scorpio new moon eclipse that hasn't come up yet, and then the full moon eclipse in November could definitely be significant cycles for you guys, so definitely keep an eye on those. But we'll see what the actual message says for the card. Okay, essential meaning says perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. The Oracle's message. Most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there, right? Like I said, maybe if you feel like you're just stuck up in the routine and you want to change up your environment, could just be a message there too. The relationship message says, sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take the higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there too. And again, that could be one of those things where, like I said, maybe you just need that little change of pace, right, to just travel, even if it's a short distance thing or a little road trip, just to clear your minds. Maybe that'll help reinvigorate the connections around you. The prosperity message says it's an advantageous time for you to get some distance from what you're doing and see your work and your projects from a different perspective. The trick is to connect to the essence of your goals and aspirations while letting the form and timing be dictated by spirit. You may be too personally attached to an outcome and unable to see the miracle because it's not turning out exactly as you planned. Trust spirit. The perfect version of your abundance is right in front of you. Remain neutral and curious and watch the miracle unfold. So interesting message there, because that makes you think of the Four Cups energy that we saw in the challenge, right? Where maybe you're feeling like because you're not seeing things unfold the way you planned, you might start to feel like there's some failure, right? And maybe you got stuck in your head around that for a bit too. And again, that could be another indicator. Like I said, just getting that little time away could really be what helps you guys rejuvenate and feel a little bit better about the situation in general. All right. And lastly, we have a Mudra card. So this is your Mudra here. It's the Shukri Mudra, and the keyword for it is attunement. All right, and there we go. There's the info. If you want to pause it to take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But on the benefits, it says balances the 5 elements, bolsters immunity, rejuvenates the organs and blood, soothes the nerves, evokes a peaceful state of mind. So if that sounds like a Mudra that can be beneficial for you guys, I'll put the name in the description video as always. Once again, happy early birthday to those of you celebrating November, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.